perfect time. And there you go, and you're live.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Creemore BIA meeting. It is April the 13th, 7 p.m. and we are here once again to start our meeting. I'm going to start off with the approval of the agenda tonight. So I'm looking for somebody to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda and somebody to second it if we have anyone here that's willing to do that.
Lori, before we approve the agenda, can I just jump in there with under new business? I just have a quick comment to make under new business. So if you could just include me in that.
Can do.
That, I will make a motion to approve the agenda. Okay.
Sarah, did you have something to add as well to the agenda?
I just wanted to have a quick conversation about bathrooms.
Everyone's favorite topic.
Yeah.
That fit under street decor events.
Whatever. I just want to make sure I don't forget to do it, because I think I should have shared some information about that. I'll try and send that right now, actually.
Okay, bathrooms, Sarah, I'm going to put it in new business, I guess. I don't know. It's not really new business, but
business time.
People do their business.
Old business. Oh, goodness. I wonder who's watching. Okay. Anything else to add to the agenda? We're all a bit punch drunk, I think. Anything else to add to the agenda? No? Okay, so then I'm looking for, as amended, someone to put the motion forward and someone to second it, please.
Okay. I'll put the motion forward.
Thank you. I heard someone say they would second it.
I'll second it.
Is that you, Jackie?
Yeah, that is.
Oh, okay. Hi, welcome. Thank you. Okay, great. And all in favor, everyone? Yep, and we're approved. Okay. So anybody would like to declare conflict of interest, pecuniary interest, or nature thereof at this time? Okay, well, if you decide later on, you're always welcome to just turn your camera off and we will continue on and just make a motion that you're, or make a mention that you're declaring a conflict. Okay, so the approval of the minutes. I looked at the minutes this time, but I don't think I can put the motion forward. So would anyone like to put a motion forward to approve the minutes from, we're looking at March 23rd, which was our special meeting with the folks from the integrity, principles of integrity, sorry. So if anybody would like to put forward that motion and second it, Doug would like to put the motion forward. Thank you. And do we have a seconder? Thanks, Heather. Okay.
I didn't second.
Good job, Heather.
I didn't second, sorry.
Sarah seconded it, sorry.
I was like, I wasn't at the meeting, and so I don't feel like it.
Sorry about that, I thought you made a motion. Okay, Sarah, thank you. And all in favor of the minutes being approved? Okay, great, that is carried. So business arising from the minutes. Let's go through this. Payment options, POS for BI. I'm not sure, Sarah, if you had any updates, or would you like to?
No, I have no updates on that. I haven't done anything. This is the new Santa Claus float.
Okay, let's move that into the next month and not worry too much about it. It's a nice to have more as a need to have.
It's a constant reminder that I'm gonna look at that.
Okay. Heather, did you have any updates on the billboards in 5.2, or would you like to push that to the next meeting? Yeah, Heather?
Sorry, I was on mute. There's extra noise here. I had a talk with Cindy Gordon last Friday, which was good. We're moving ahead with updating the billboard there. There is she said the one that's available, if anybody would like that, or the BIA, is the one that's has the gallery on it.
Oh, okay. Maybe we would as a BIA.
A light needs to be, she was looking at the prices that she had said to me sounded reasonable. Our billboard would be the most because it is the largest, I believe, down there. But everything seemed fair and they just need to get that coordinated. The difference between this location and other billboards that I work with is that I think it's going to be me coordinating the update of artwork on those, like to get actually the person to put the artwork up, and the install would be on my end. So just to keep that in mind, if the BIA wants to do that. It's not like a proper billboard. It's Cindy, not a proper billboard company where you can send them the artwork and it gets put up.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Are you saying that you'll look after getting it out?
I'm doing that. I don't think we've decided if the BIA 100% is doing something like that. I know to update the Creemore Springs one, I have to actually do the legwork to get it up. So just to keep that note, if the BIA wants to, that space of the Mad River, I think the gallery space, then we just have to know that we got to do some legwork with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to a different sign company to do it. It'll be fine, but just an extra expense.
That one, is that the one that's right beside our existing billboard? The Mad
No,
Noise,
It's the one right at the turn, isn't it?
It's at George Street.
Yeah.
so our existing billboard is south of that.
Yes, there's one south of it, but then there's that group of them that's at the end, the south entrance to the village.
Is there an appetite amongst the board to have a BIA or Creemore sign that sort of, let's turn left or something there? Is there an appetite for that?
I think personally, that would be a great spot to promo the new town square thing there, the green, the village green. Like maybe we should chat to them and see if they want to, because it's opening in July theoretically. Is that?
And that could be like, it could be a turning one, like it's, we could do events on there or such. So if it is the BIA one, we can kind of curate it for different occasions versus just a Creemore with an arrow, because there is a Creemore, there is one, the south one says, the one south of that has the arrow, right?
Yeah.
So that's just another idea.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea, just to have it as a placeholder in the BIA name, and you could defer some of the costs to renting it out to other event people or, events happening that need a little sign right there. That would be awesome.
So Heather, would you be willing to talk to Cindy and ask her if we can then take over that billboard, and
Sure.
if there's a cost involved?
And a contract.
No.
I would like to think, based on her conversation, it's going to be the rental fee and I'll figure out what that rental fee is moving forward monthly. And then I can help with the install details and cost as well.
That would be super great. Okay, so we'll put you as the leader on that project, if you don't mind.
Do you want
Oh,
this as an
I'm already
additional
doing the
agenda
addition.
item for next month?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, great. Is there anything else that can we move on from that then? Okay, great. So let's go into street decor update. I don't think there's a whole lot to update at the moment. I think things are just in holding pattern until the flowers are available. Sarah, did you have anything to add there? Or we just we can defer that to May?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is
Set up.
everything's ordered, and we're just waiting. My hope is that we will be looking lovely for the May 2-4 weekend. That's the goal. We'll have our chairs and our flowers.
Very encouraging to hear Terry Vachon's comments last night at the council meeting that Sarah and I attended. So that he had committed to the watering of the flowers. So that was big.
Big
Okay.
fridge.
Sorry.
That's a big fridge.
Oh, yeah. It's never big enough, though. It's never big enough. The one in the basement.
Okay. All right. So moving on from flowers, events. We don't got any. So
The only event you might want to talk about is the passing of John Wiggins, and
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
or not that that's an event, but you know what I mean. Maybe that's a good spot to inject that. And I don't know if anybody's had time to think about it, but it would be nice for the BIA, as as a membership as a whole, to have some show of I don't know, mourning
Dedication or
right
something.
word, or to honor his life, or some, I don't know, to obviously mark the passing.
I agree. So Heather or Sarah, do you guys, I know both of you have been talking a little bit. Everyone's sort of been talking, I think, amongst yourselves. What's the consensus? Is there some ideas that you want to put forward?
Sarah, you want to talk?
Heather, and I did mention this to Heather and I were chatting yesterday, and we did talk about the idea of creating some sort of an award, mark his legacy. But I don't know what that looks like. Something that it would be like the John Wiggins big heart achievement award or something like that. That would be that we would figure out what.
We'd start with John.
Yeah, we would start by honoring him, and it would be something that would only be given. It would be an annual event, obviously, but it would be to somebody who's given a significant amount to the community over the years, and probably we would want to create parameters and how it was awarded. I've never been involved with a program like that, so I don't know how you go about setting that up. I like the idea of something that will ensure that 20, 30 years from now, we are still saying that name in this community.
Yeah, I think Tony Fry would be a good person to talk to about that, since they set up the scholarship with for Ray's Place. So he might have some information on setting up something like that, about the logistics of it. And personally, my input would be on that. I think it would probably match John best if it was for more towards entrepreneurial
Yeah.
pursuits, like, rather than somebody who's been in the community for years doing
That was, I think we spoke about that part too, is part of the criteria.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, something, whatever it is, it would encapsulate John and his core values, and it would be given to somebody who really reflected those. But it wouldn't be something that we would want to do every year.
Yeah.
And it kind of turns into like the Village of Creemore sort of Hall of Fame, or maybe it's in the garden of some sort, or something that we collected and it's visible for the community.
Yeah.
Is it a monetary award, or do you see it as more of just like
Acknowledgement.
an acknowledgement? Yeah, exactly.
I haven't given it that much thought. I think setting up, it's going to take some work to figure out what that looks like and how it is
Lovely. I love the idea. I think you guys are genius.
I just think it's important that he be remembered for a really long time. And if we set this up properly, this could be a legacy. But I don't necessarily think it has to be about money. I think it has to be a real honor.
Very prestigious kind of award to it has a meaning.
Yeah, I think it needs to be truly meaningful to reflect just how much John meant to this community.
Heather, is the brewery have any intention of committing funds if it was a monetary award, or?
We've had a couple of chats, and we also sorry, I'm just trying to get this back up. Oh shoot. I don't know, you can hear me. So we also had a chat with Gordon Fuller too, with his ideas and his inputs because of his close ties with John as well. We've had some ideas, again, nothing has sort of been solidified right now this week, but I think it may look more of like a donation to the village on behalf of John. Kind of keep that connection. We didn't know about the, the family asked about a donation to the Heart and Stroke Foundation. So we thought about that, but we also think it'd be really nice to keep it within the community for something significant, and we're not quite sure what that looks like, but we've been chatting about it, and we're, just making sure that we're doing the right decision that honors him the best way.
Has anybody talked to the family about the ideas or the?
Well, I was talking we were just trying to find some direction for that and reaching out. I know that the people at, like myself or Steph, we didn't have the contact of the brewery or of the family. The only one I have is Lisa through Facebook, because I saw some posts that she did too. So we want to recognize the reach out to the family as well. We're just thinking of those next steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's only been
being sensitive to everybody and their time, and
of course, and they're going through a process of mourning and things like that. It's hard to maybe discuss all of this right now with them.
No, I'm just thinking that before anything would be finalized, that
Oh, for sure.
obviously
Yeah.
not now, but like that.
Yes.
We should be.
I think you're right. Yeah, we absolutely need to involve them, but I'm sure they've got a lot on their plate.
Jackie, do you have, just so that we can have them just for the BIA and Sarah and I working on this, do you have from the right contact for the family?
I think I do. I'll have to look at, I don't know if it's in this phone that I have. I might have not
Sure.
put it in yet, so I will look it up.
If
and
you
I'll-
had something that you can share with us that we can just have on hand for when it is time to reach out.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been talking to Lisa quite a bit, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
No,
I have
that's-
no issue. But Jackie, I think given your relationship with John and sort of your long standing, your position as the past president, I really think it would be wonderful if we could rope you into this a little
Oh,
bit.
I would be on it. Like, I'd love to.
Yeah.
It's obviously something that matters a lot to me. So.
That'd be great, Jackie, if you could just do the research on the award and also be the liaison with the family.
Sure.
As you probably know them better than I do, although Sarah knows them well as well.
Jackie, though, I mean, you knew the family, you knew them really well, didn't you? And you've known them forever.
Yeah, and I mean, John asked me to cater his celebration of life. So we've been in touch.
Yeah, you guys are close. So I really I would love to help every step of the way, Jackie, but I think that if you're willing that you would
Oh,
really
no, I'd be happy to. Yeah.
And I'm sure you would have all of our support as well. If you needed any sort of help, you could always reach out to the board.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. It should be because it's a BIA led effort. So it definitely has to be.
So with that, can I make a motion then? Oh, Doug, do you want to
Well,
say?
I just wanted to jump in and say that once you get an idea of what you want to do to honor John, and if you do need some funds, I mean, I'd be more than happy to see if council would make a contribution, and especially because it would be an ongoing thing, it would probably be best, I would think anyway, is if we did it during budget time, which isn't until like the fall. But I could bring it to council before that. But if you want it to be an annual thing, maybe we could do something at council to make an annual contribution to whatever award you decide that you want to have. And the only thing is, I mean, you would have to have it sort of down so that I could explain to them exactly what it is. I mean, obviously, it'd be premature for me to go to council at this point when.
Oh yeah.
When you don't have really any idea what you're thinking of. So once you get some ideas, and if you do decide that you want council approached, I'd be more than happy to do that. And I don't really see much of an issue with it personally, but
Okay.
Anyway, so you can keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh, that sounds good, Doug. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so let's make a motion that we will. Are we forming a committee, or are we nominating Jackie as the lead to investigate a memorial award in remembrance of John Wiggins? Is that the sort of thing we're doing here? Kayla, you might have to sort of streamline that a little bit better than what I just said, but I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're giving direction to Jackie to do some investigation.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Investigation and really spearhead a John Wiggins Memorial Award. So can I get someone to make the motion? Sarah, would you like to make that motion? And Heather, would you like to second it? Yeah. Okay, so all in favor? Yeah, that's great. That's approved. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think that's lovely. I can't wait to hear more about what we decide to do with that. But I think we do. It's only been a couple of days and we do need a bit more time. So great. Okay, can we move on then? Public participation. I don't see anyone. Financial report. Sarah, I saw you sent over some treasury documents this afternoon to everybody on the board.
Yeah.
Where our position is, I think, with the finances. Is that what I saw for first quarter?
Yeah, we're right in line with where we're supposed to be right now. A few things I am following up on are just, we haven't received our HST for 2019 or 2020, from what I can tell. So I've Emmy looking into that. And we're still waiting on our 2021 levy payment, our first for the year. So I've just followed up with her, but everything else is just as it should be in line with the budget.
Great, thank you. In terms of marketing, we are continuing with a lot of our programs as we set out in our AGM plan. You know, I've reached out to On in the Hills for print ads, and also our Instagram program is still going on with Joey. We started doing some short films, they're little short videos of the different businesses just before the shutdown. So now we've sort of slowed that down because we can't have access to a lot of the businesses, but the idea was to do like little 10-second clips inside each business and post them on Instagram. So Joey's here this week on March break, and he's going to be helping us a little bit more with that. And also we need to start thinking about the Mother's Day program, which I think we were going to kind of copy and paste a little bit from our Valentine's Day program.
Yeah.
Whereas it's basically the same thing. We're gonna, Sarah, if I could ask you to help me with some of those Google Docs, or we could just use the same ones and just repurpose them. That would be great. And I think we're just gonna do like a Mother's Day gift package that people can put together and try to promote people shopping for Mother's Day. I think we'll still be in lockdown during Mother's Day. Is that right?
Be out of lockdown, but I'll do up a form and get that circulating right away so that people know that we're going to do it again and they can think about it now. So if they have any ordering, they can do it.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be fairly straightforward from our perspective on the board, and we'll just be able to go forward. Sarah, would you be able to do a short graphic or maybe borrow from something last year that just says Mother's Day with something pretty, and then we'll be able to use that in our ads everywhere.
I'll do that.
Okay, because probably by the time our next meeting rolls around, it will be kind of in full swing because we'll be kind of just right before Mother's Day, I think.
So we would be rolling this out, I guess, in a week and a half, 2 weeks time.
Yeah.
Oh, I better get it together.
No, I suddenly realized it's April 13th and went, oh, that's a month from now. Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day is May the 9th. So
Sorry?
Mother's Day is May the 9th.
May the 9th.
Yeah.
So we will be in lockdown.
Yeah.
Will you still be in lockdown? Yeah.
Well, it's over May 4th, right?
Yeah, we'll-
Maybe.
So you won't be in lockdown.
Never mind. I didn't have the date.
Hopefully not.
Oh, let's hope, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. So there we are. May the 9th. Okay. Yeah. So that's the idea, is to put that together to help businesses during lockdown, hopefully sell some products and the restaurants to sell some meals. So that's really all we've got going on for marketing, which is a lot considering we're locked down. Anything else anyone wants to add for marketing at this time? Okay, great. So new business, unfinished business. I have 11.1 board members. I think Kayla added that to our agenda because we had some interest from a couple of people. And I think you have to make a motion on that, or we have to discuss it. Is that right, Kayla? Did Kayla leave?
No, I'm here.
She's
so
always there.
I'm always here. No, you can discuss it and then make a motion would be great.
Okay, so Oda, who's not here tonight, has expressed an interest and has joined us in the last few meetings as a member of the public because he is interested in becoming a board member. And I know I've also spoken recently to Linda DeWinter, who's also very interested in joining the board as well from the 100 Mile Store. I think it would be great to have a couple extra people to help us out on the board. I think they're both great entrepreneurs and bring a little bit of a different perspective than all of us have because they have different businesses yet again. So if there's any discussion or if you guys want to agree or disagree, now's sort of the moment. It's kind of awkward in a public meeting, but
Can you just appoint somebody to the board? Doesn't have to be elected.
I believe we sort of can. So the process is that they just apply, they fill out an application, and then we can appoint them, but we have to be in agreement.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So I don't think there's any objections from anybody here in terms of a couple of folks joining us. We have the spaces on the board. I think it'd be great.
You just need a timer for Oda though when he talks. Like at the meet, you just gotta put him on a timer, Lori. Okay.
For sure. Okay, so I'm going to make a motion then, if you guys don't mind, to approve both Oda Zapadowski and Linda DeWinter as potential new BIA board members, should they accept. And I'm not going to make the motion. Somebody here is going to make it, I suppose, right? And Sarah would like to make it. And who would like to second it? Jackie. And all in favor of a couple of new board members? I think I see everyone's hands, so that's approved.
Are you in favor? Yep.
Everyone's in favor? Yep. Heather's in favor too. Great. Okay, so that was
Is
the
Jen
board
McIntyre
members.
on the board?
Sorry?
Is Jen McIntyre on the board?
She is. She is. I don't know why she's not here tonight. I know she's swamped these days with vaccines and all kinds of things that she's got going on in the background. So, you know, I don't know where she is, but I'm sure she's dealing with a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to head over to Doug. 11.2 I have here as Doug presentation. I'm not sure what you're presenting, but go for it.
No, I was just, all that I wanted to say was, you know, where the Economic Development Committee, we've appointed people to that committee, and there were two openings, one for the Creemore BIA and the other one for the Chamber of Commerce. And I know, Lori, you had sent an email saying that, so I forget who's going to be
It's
represented.
Heather.
Yeah.
Heather Hartney.
Yeah, and I sent an email back saying, well, just hang on a second. Someone from the Economic Development Committee will contact you, because I don't even know for sure whether they're going to fill those slots. And obviously, I don't think they have contacted you yet.
No,
Anyway,
I know that there's been meetings and I've mentioned, I don't remember who I talked to last, but saying I wasn't in part of it, so.
yeah, so anyway, there was just a breakdown on communications, and I'm probably at fault, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so I told you to wait until someone from the township, you know, contacted you. And anyway, so at our last meeting, we approved someone, I'm not sure what her name is, from the Stayner Chamber of Commerce to be on the committee. So I said, well, whoa, just a minute here, like, you know, how does this work? Because I know the Creemore BIA have someone, and they said, well, you know, like, they're supposed to contact us. And I said, well, I told them that you were going to contact them. So anyway, so you can either, I guess maybe probably be best to talk to Brenda Falls, the deputy clerk, and just let her know that Heather's available. And
Well, I can reach out to Brenda.
or
Okay.
I
Or Lori
can,
should.
it doesn't matter, but just to make that connection anyway. So
Okay.
Jump in there, Kayla. You got.
Actually, once we pass a resolution to appoint Heather as the sitting member on behalf of the BIA, I will fire off an email to Jen, who is the secretary for that board.
Okay.
All right.
We
Okay.
already passed a motion on that, I believe.
Okay. So I'll make the motion.
No, we already did it.
Like 4 months ago, right?
Yeah, a couple months.
That's probably why I forgot to see that. All right, I will push that through.
Pretty sure we did.
Yeah, we
Heather?
did.
Yeah, I thought so too. Okay, great. Okay, so the motion's been passed. Heather's approved, and yeah, if you don't mind doing that, Kayla, then we'll get all that together. And thanks, Heather, for volunteering for that position. Okay, number 11.3 is bathrooms, everyone's favorite topic. Sarah,
Bathrooms and Santa.
Yeah.
float.
We delivered that. Now we just have to get it all. Anyway, Santa. Oy. So
Santa.
bathrooms. So I put together a proposal, and I maybe should have shared this in advance with everybody, around washrooms, with the idea that we would open up washrooms on Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays throughout the summer months, in order to help our to alleviate the washroom stress for our members, and also to provide great sanitation. Some of the points that I have pulled out include from the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit. They're saying that hand washing is vital and outweighs potential risks when it comes to the opening of public washrooms. So, you know, they're definitely all for the opening. And I've created a document that outlines the health unit's guidelines around opening of washrooms and cleaning guidelines. So the proposal is to open Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays between 11 and 4. April through September is what we kind of budgeted for. This was before this lockdown, so that would change. But obviously this would kind of be something that's always shifting and changing. Maybe we would do something like, you know, if there is a lockdown like now, we can write it so that there's some clarity in terms of when there.
Even if we started on like the May 24th weekend,
Yeah.
I think that would be a good next step. because that's the next busiest weekend, I think.
Yeah, so we can definitely refine this proposal. The idea here was just to get an idea of the costs and also to see what kind of response we would get from Station on the Green board, as well as the municipality. I've shared this with Amanda and Terry for their review. I've also shared this proposal with the Station on the Green board for them to look at, so that we can all come back together, create a final proposal, and see where we are at. But at this point, both the municipality and the Station on the Green seem excited about the prospects of opening and are willing to work with us. The municipality said that they don't have anything in terms of staffing, but they may be able to offer something from a financial perspective. I spoke with Deb Hill, who is the caretaker, or the going to be caretaker of the Station on the Green when they do open back up, and she is willing to do the work to keep the washroom open. So, you know, there's an understanding that this is kind of beyond what a volunteer could do, and that's why we would want to pay. So generally the staffing would be professional through Deb, who is the caretaker. The user of the washrooms would be responsible for self-guided best practices. So we would ensure public health by making certain that rules, regulations were well posted, that sort of thing. And then Deb would ensure that cleaning was done. The proposed budget for this, as I see it when I kind of went through it, was about $4,000. So that would cover, the Station on the Green wants zero cost associated with this. That is one of the things that they told me. They're not willing to cover any of the expenses. So the budget I came up with was that it would be about $500 for paper, soap, and cleaning products over the course of the season. We would probably want to spend about $100 for signage, posters, that sort of thing. Then we would want the cleaning person initially, you know, just off the top of my head, and this needs to be refined, but would be about 50 days at $60 a day. So that would be $3,000 over the of the program. And then I would also want to give a stipend to the Station on the Green to help cover their cost of utilities, so about $400. So that gets us to the $4,000 mark for the overarching budget. My hope is, after talking to the municipality, that they would be willing to offer some sort of help, maybe half that budget, maybe $2,000, maybe even more, I don't know. But that's kind of where I would like to see it. So the way I'm proposing the responsibilities is that the Station on the Green would review the plan, give us some feedback, and then they would approve it, and that they would be responsible for you know, letting their staff clean, and their staff would order the supplies, that sort of thing. The only other thing that they would be responsible for setting the timer in accordance with the agreement, and they would be responsible for any costs that were associated with infrastructure. So if there's a broken tap, or you know, something that is not just like a clog or a usage issue, but something that's actually to do with the facility, they would be responsible for that fix. With Clearview, what we're looking for is their professional advice in terms of our proposal. And they said that they would provide a fogging machine to help with the cleaning, and that they would hopefully be willing to provide some sort of financial aid. And then it would be on us to work with all these different groups to coordinate the plan. We would oversee the staffing. We'd reimburse the Station on the Green for all the supplies, and we would create and share a detailed operational plan with everybody involved. So that's kind of the big picture. So I guess what I would need to move forward is just the approval of the board to move forward. If we could do one of two things. We could approve the full 4,000 with the hope that we would get some money from elsewhere to pay, or I could come back once I've had further conversations with
the municipality in terms of what they're willing to spend. I would leave that to, yeah, I'm looking to direction in that regard. So
Doug,
that's where we.
I want to reach out to ask Doug if that's something you could take to the, would we take it to Terry directly, or would it have to go to council?
I don't know. I'm going to defer to Kayla on this. What do you think, Kayla? I mean, I don't mind taking it to council, but do you think maybe we should have Sarah or Lori go to Terry directly first and see?
Well, we've talked to Terry about this. This proposal came out of a conversation with Terry, and they were very, both he and Amanda were very supportive. Would you say that's true, Lori?
I would, yeah. So would they just be able to approve the money themselves?
I don't know. I think they may have to come to council with a request or with a recommendation.
Terry didn't seem to think it would be problematic for him to find it within his budget. So maybe I can check back around with him and tell him that I've taken this proposal. I guess we were supposed to kind of check back in with him on it, but I wanted you all to see this and make sure we were comfortable with it before we talked.
I think it sounds great. It's a great proposal. It's amazing that you found someone that's willing to clean the bathrooms 3 times a day.
I was just going to say, that was going to be my suggestion, was kind of approve the proposal here and take it back to Terry, because I think it's within Terry's budget to find that money for you. Okay. So that's my suggestion.
So Sarah, maybe you'd like to make a motion then to approve Sarah's plan for the opening of the washrooms on weekends throughout the summer. Is there any other discussion? Does anyone else like to chime in, or?
Yeah, please do. If there are concerns I'm missing, I really would like to know now. Like, this is all just, I have no idea how to plan for this stuff.
My only chime in would be if there's any way at all to get more days, that would be ideal, right? Like, we don't want to have just visitors just on weekends, especially if there isn't a lockdown and you are able to maximize some time with customers. You want them there through the week. And where do they go to the bathroom through the week? Like, is that just tough luck, or?
So we can address that in a couple ways. We could allocate more funds towards it if we feel that that's important. We can ask for more funds from the municipality, or I can also talk to Deb. We can look at whether we need as many cleanings per day as what we currently have slated. And if we don't, we could try and transfer them around so that we have more days. I agree. Like, ultimately, Jackie, I'd love to see the washroom open
7 days a week, right? Yeah, of course.
But from a budget perspective, I just felt that this was the most realistic way to approach it.
Now, so who paid for it before? Just Station on the Green left them open and paid for the operating?
Station on the Green, as part of their regular operations, left them open, and that is a huge service to the community. And yeah, without them, we really realize how important that is to us, to everybody.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that we can't use the brewery ones this year again, so we can't count on that.
Are the porta potties still in place, or have they been taken away?
They've been taken away.
Okay. Any idea how much the township paid for those porta potties every month?
Heather, you might know, because what is a porta potty? $300 a month, is it?
I can't remember, because I do it by days.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know, Doug, how much they paid for the porta potties. I think they were there from September through probably January or so.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know.
So I guess I will basically ask Terry what the most they can give is, and then we could, I could change the proposal to say how much we're willing to put in, ask what the municipality is willing to put in, and then we could base our schedule around that. If we prefer, that's another kind of way to look at it.
Or you could put the proposal in that you have now, and then what we could say is, due to like an ever evolving kind of situation, that this proposal gets reviewed every month at our meeting or something like that. And then we can say, maybe we open it up in May and June on weekends and we say, you know, there's really a need to do 7 days a week. So maybe come July, we can do 7 days a week if we find that there's so much tourism and there's so many people in town. There's just so many unknowns right now. You know, if we're back into the green zone and people feel comfortable traveling, then might have those people. If we're not, and we're still in like a red or yellow zone and people are encouraged not to travel, we may not have a need for it. So it's, maybe we just put that as a caveat in our program and says, we review it every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we definitely want Terry to know that if there's any more budget available, if the need arises, it would be
Sure.
good for him to consider that.
Okay, I'm certain that they'll be cooperative and as generous as they can be. So we'll try and leave it open-ended and try to ensure that we're serving the public as best we can.
Yeah, that's a great plan. Thank you for putting that together, Sarah. I know it's been a lot of work in terms of doing all the research.
So just so that I'm clear, so Sarah, you're going to look after, you're going to talk to Terry. So I'm just going to stay right out of it for now, right?
Unless we, though, 2 reasons that we would need, if the station on the green doesn't feel like they're in a position to make a decision around this, I would turn to council and ask council to be a decision maker on their behalf, basically to override them, because council does have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that, I mean, obviously I have the utmost respect for our volunteers, but in the event that the volunteers just simply don't have the capacity to make the decisions, or they don't want to be involved because of liability or anything like that, I would come to council for council to make that decision. And I think that's maybe, Kayla, can you tell me if that is a reasonable approach?
It's something that you could absolutely do. I do recall at the beginning of this pandemic, the then CAO, Steve Stage, and council at that time stipulated to all hall boards that if they choose to remain closed, that they wouldn't step on their toes and open it behind their backs, for lack of better wording. But it's something that is possible, and you can follow that avenue. Maybe the pandemic has gone on longer and feelings have changed.
At this point, like I said, I did send this proposal to Linda. She loved it. She was just so happy. They just don't want to have the expense or the headache. Yeah. That would be their only reason. But I think that if they were in a position where they felt like there was a liability for their decision making, maybe I would ask them to defer to council to make that decision for them. I think that would be the way to go then. Okay.
So Sarah, you've sent it to Linda already? Because they have a board meeting on the 21st, she told me today.
Yeah, I sent it to her for a preliminary review and asked her if she wanted any changes.
Okay.
So I'll follow up with her.
Okay, yeah, because she did mention to me about their next meeting. So great. Okay. So would we like to put a motion together to approve your proposal around the bathrooms and the spending the money for the bathrooms? Are we going to propose, what budget are we going to propose? Is it going to be the $4,000?
I think that was your idea, Lori. You said, go ahead, Sarah, do the $4,000 one, with obviously the conversation further with Terry about.
Yeah, okay. That is the money that we
depending on, like you said, depending on what the pandemic does and what happens and what the needs are.
Yeah, you're right. So that is the money we were saving from watering all the planters this year. So
yeah,
we do.
Yeah, that would be up the savings for the watering plus any contingency, and plus some if the municipality isn't able to help us financially. So
well, it sounds like Kayla said that that's within Terry's budget, so we'll okay the money, but hopefully we won't have to spend it. So
yeah, I mean, ultimately it would be amazing if the municipalities helped us just foot the full bill. But at least this way we can get going and really help our members that way.
Yeah. Well, public washrooms.
It also is helpful, like in terms of we're putting together this rack card and we really want public washrooms to be a feature on it. So we want to make sure that this is all going to happen before we go to press on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm looking for you to really make the motion about, we accept Sarah's proposal, and the spend of up to $4,000 for the opening of the public washrooms for the spring and summer for downtown Creemore.
That's exactly right. Thank you.
Okay, so Sarah made that motion, and is there a seconder?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Denver.
Doug, thank you. And all in favor? We see everyone there. Perfect. So that has been carried. So thank you so much, Sarah. And we'll look forward to hearing from the Station on the Green Board and from Terry as well, and to see how we are able to move that forward, which is a big deal. It's like the Santa float. It's been on our agenda every month. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Dealing with a lot of stuff. Okay, so if there's nothing else, I think we can adjourn. Our next meeting is May 11th.
I had something exciting. I'm just trying to figure out how the heck to share my screen. I apologize.
Right, Kayla's got something too. My fault.
I wanted to share our lavender poster with
That
everybody.
was in marketing, and I breezed right by it.
I'm sorry. Now I can't
While
find.
Sarah's looking for that, I can talk. So Sarah and I have been working on the lavender, the lavender days rat card. And for that, as you remember, we had to get some artwork done. So we commissioned Ruth Ann Pierce, who is a local designer and illustrator. And she put together some lovely graphics for us that Sarah's sort of been liaising with her, and just wonderful. And so Sarah wanted to kind of show everyone tonight and get your opinion on those graphics.
Okay, I've pulled them up. Now I need to share my screen.
And then while she's also doing that, Kayla has been frantically going back through minutes, and we need to approve Heather as our pick for the Economic Development Board, because apparently we didn't make a motion as we all thought we did, or at least it's not in the minutes. So we'll just quickly do that as well. But here we are. Here's the graphics.
Okay. So the goal of the graphics was with this lavender theme, what we were going for was kind of that. Jackie, what do you think? That's all I want to know.
Don't even ask.
You hate it?
It feels very dark and heavy. Like it doesn't feel very like floral.
Not very spring.
It doesn't feel very whimsical.
Summer.
Very like, yeah.
It needs to be light. I agree. I was looking, the initial ones were quite a bit lighter, but we can lighten up the palette for sure. The general concept, yes, no?
I like the hill over the village. That's cool.
The lettering is very angry.
The lettering's off.
Yeah.
It's off from our font that we've used before for the village stuff, I feel like.
The brief that she was given was around kind of that tradition or that vintage
Art Deco kind of look.
So that's how she got there. I actually liked her iterations before she did a lot of the shading.
I wasn't keen on the gradients either.
Yeah. So, but so this is going to be, so I can get her to lighten it up for sure. And I can get her to make the font less angry looking.
Is there a font that we use on our other?
If
we don't have one.
Palatino's kind of been the traditional Creemore font. Yeah. So we can, I don't know that works within this context, but we can definitely do something with it. And I agree. I think a little lighter and a little friendlier would be good. It does look a little bit, especially with all the black, it does sort of
Halloweeny.
Okay.
The really sad thing about Ruth Ann and Michael is they're moving.
I know.
They have to leave the community. Their house is for sale. They can't afford to stay. Like it's.
Oh no.
This is epidemic.
It's the pandemic issue again, right? Like increasing property values, and
That's really too bad.
Yeah. Well, we will miss them.
Yeah.
Anyway. So this would be translated into our rack card for the summer, a few social media things, but it does need to be much lighter. The sky, instead of kind of the orange, I think should be like a lighter blue.
And I'm sure I can give, and we can maybe get rid of some of that black and it would look a little friendlier. Okay. Any other comments? Nope. Okay.
Does everybody else instantly recognize it as lavender? Does it look like lavender to everybody? Is it?
It looks,
I only know it's lavender because it's, I mean, yeah, it looks like lavender.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing to bear in mind is that the purpose of this rack card is to be given out to everybody who's at the lavender farm.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, we may not have done this if it was just a typical rack card. We're going to use it in other ways, but I mean, this year being our lavender theme,
Yeah.
that's
I would really, I guess I would encourage Ruth Ann with the palette just to go with all the lavender tones, like purple hills, lavender, just have the whole thing impactful that instantly when you pick that up, it just says lavender to you, you know, like right away.
so
I think you could do that just with all the coloring. That doesn't have to be an exact rendering of a sunset or an afternoon sky. It just has to feel, everything has to feel like lavender, I think, like that whole palette of all the purples.
so we're looking for a lightening up and more lavender.
Yeah, more like a whimsical, gentle, I think, that feels like lavender. Even just the color palette, just changing that, I think, would just so instantly that you know lavender. Do you know what I mean? Like you just feel it right away by looking at it. So
Okay, that's good input. Yeah, the colors did end up being much darker than I expected.
darker than what she started with too.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I thought too. I was like, in the beginning, I liked the palette and it just got more intense. So
yeah.
I appreciate that feedback and I will take it to her. And
I feel that the downtown is very obvious that it's a downtown little village.
Mhm.
It does? Okay. Because I mean, the whole point of this is to invite people from the lavender
Looks,
farm.
looks quaint
Village, right? To
Yeah.
connect to the village. Yeah.
with some silos on the side.
Yeah. So the farms.
like the brief it was about depicting the community as like our agricultural heritage, a place to shop and eat. We wanted, this sort of palette, maybe with getting rid of the black, was came out of like top millennial colors kind of.
Yeah. There's a real target audience on this.
I like the concept of it, and it shows exactly what you're doing is handing it out on the farm and then go down. There's something else there.
But
On the other side, of course, we'll list all the businesses.
But the black and the orange does give it a bit of, it removes the whimsy and makes it quite heavy. So I will see.
It's also gives me the like the sunset vibe, and you know, this town shuts down at 4 p.m. kind of thing.
Good point, Heather. This is why I wanted all of you to see it, because you know, you just, especially I'm not great at giving directions, so I'm not always comfortable with that. So having this feedback's really helpful. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Okay. And if we do end up with something that we love, it can be translated to silkscreen posters. It could be translated to other items, perhaps. But I think we're on to something, but I agree we need to lighten it up and make it more daytime, a little friendlier, and pushing the lavender color harder. Okay.
What do you think about actually using the Creemore logo where Creemore is, like incorporating more of that feel in the clouds, like the little dots, like the one that we recognize? Like, I don't know, you guys have to start with consistency somewhere, I think, like when you.
So kind of like coming out of the sky, there would be.
Not, you know, just like the Creemore with the circle dots around it, or something that just ties into all your other marketing,
Yeah,
like everything
I think
else.
that's what the font is, and I'm not feeling the connection with the font because it's not linked to our other stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's good feedback. I understand. I will send that off to her.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That's exciting though. I love that whole idea.
Sorry, can you say that? What?
I said it's exciting. I love the whole lavender festival. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be much of a festival, but we're trying to do something.
Yeah, it's
We'll start with a theme.
Yeah. This year's lavender theme is lavender.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Christmas.
Good.
But lavender. Okay, well, that's great, Sarah. Thanks so much for sharing it.
Okay, well, thanks for the feedback. I'm glad to have it now rather than after we've gone further down the road with it.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, one other item on the new business before we wrap up is that if we could make a motion to elect Heather as, or appoint Heather as our representative for the Clearview Economic Development Committee. I'm looking for someone to make that motion and someone to second it, if you don't mind. Jackie, would you like to make the motion? And Sarah, would you like to second it? And all in favor? Yep, okay, so that is carried. So thank you, Heather, for volunteering to be our representative on the Economic Development Committee, sorry. And you're gonna reach out to Brenda Falls yourself, or Kayla, you can also send the motion maybe to her, I don't know.
Did Doug
Yep,
say
I'll send the
that
motion out.
the president should or no? Doesn't matter.
Oh, I can, oh, sorry, yeah, I can do that, I'll make a note. No problem. Okay, so that's that. Is there anything else anyone wants to add tonight?
I just like to add that I like how we went through this very quickly and thoroughly, and it was done in an hour.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing I would just want to say is we're going to lose Jordan too, Jordan Evely. She's moved to Stratford. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
You just grab-
First, we could get a house.
yeah.
Tough to stay in Creemore, that's for sure. Prices here.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
We
well,
also lost Jackie Durnford.
Yeah.
Jackie
Yeah.
Darkford, all these creative types, they're all leaving.
We've moved on to the third phase of gentrification.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn the meeting, or someone here is, and we're going to adjourn at, well, 8:04. Woo! Thanks for making the motion and thanks for seconding it. And thanks everybody for putting that forward.
Meeting.